Hi, I'm Alicia. In this video, I'm talking about the benefits of diaphragmatic breathing for health. So, diaphragmatic breathing is how we are intended to breathe. We have a respiratory diaphragm that sits at the base of the ribs. And when we take a full breath in, a full complete breath, that diaphragm descends down, puts pressure into the abdominal cavity, which then presses down into the pelvis and into the pelvic floor, giving the pelvic floor muscles a nice little stretch. When we exhale, everything lifts and the pelvic floor gets a nice little lift and contract. So this is the way we're designed to breathe. But when we get into inefficient breathing patterns, if life is messy or if we're super busy, we've had traumas, we've had injuries, accidents, we're stressed out about money, about our kids, about our parents, our jobs, often a combination of all of them, we can get into this fight or flight response, this inefficient breathing pattern. And it can be really, really difficult to get out of. The more often we do something, the more normal the nervous system deems it, and it kind of becomes our own normal. So learning diaphragmatic breathing can be difficult. It's actually one of the most difficult things I teach. So when we have a diaphragmatic breath, the base of the ribs will expand a little. This is the diaphragm beginning to descend down. And then as it descends down and puts pressure into the abdominal cavity, it gives the appearance of the belly filling with breath. But it's the pressure of the diaphragm pushing into the internal organs. So it begins at the base of the rib. It descends down. The abdominal cavity gets a nice little press. The pelvic floor gets a nice little press, and everybody's happy. This is really, really important if you're trying to heal your pelvic floor. And I'd say more than half the time when I work with somebody with pelvic floor issues, it's not the strengthening that we need to work with first, it's the relaxing and the complete breathing first. Now, in the realm of anxiety, panic, and trauma, again, we were in that inefficient breathing pattern, and we can stay in that pattern, and we can, go into panic attacks and all these things. So if we can learn diaphragmatic breathing, we can get that under control. So the reason how we breathe affects anxiety and how we feel is because that inefficient breathing pattern is like the fight or flight response. So if something scares us, we feel threatened, we're worried, we're in pain, we're angry, all these, whatever these different feelings, these different emotions are, kick us into that fight or flight response. Inefficient breathing, blood is pumped to the extremities so that we can fight or run. Our heart rate increases and our breathing shallows. So these are all the physiological changes that occur when we're scared, threatened, angry, worried, hurting, all these things. What's supposed to happen, what the nervous system is supposed to do for us, is after our threat, whatever it is gone, we're supposed to be able to drop into the rest and digest function of the nervous system, which is where everything goes back to normal. Our heart rate slows, our breathing deepens, the blood's returned to all the other systems of the body that were getting gypped from the fight or flight side. So that's the response that's supposed to happen. So nowadays, our threats aren't so much being chased by a lion. You get chased by a lion, you get away, everything goes back to normal and we relax. Nowadays, our threats are ongoing. Bills, kids, illnesses, parents, jobs, all the things. And many times they all go together. So we stay in that threatened, that fight or flight response. So learning to consciously breathe and to consciously relax and to use practices to do that for us daily is what's really needed. A 1 week vacation once a year, unfortunately, does not give us the relaxation we need. We need to counter our stressful events with rest and relaxation daily if possible. So diaphragmatic breathing is a practice that we can do. Whatever we do the most often is what the nervous system deems as normal. So relearning how to breathe completely can be a little bit frustrating, but it's worth it. So let's bring a hand to the heart and a hand to the belly. Close your eyes. And when you breathe, see which hand is moving. It might be the belly hand, it might be the heart hand, or it might be some combination of the two. Whatever you find, I'd like you to try to keep the heart hand or the chest hand still. And with the expansion from the rib cage down, feel your belly hand move. And by move, I mean the hand moves with the movement of the belly, with the movement of the breath. Do a couple more rounds, trying to keep your heart hand still and your belly hand moving. And this is a diaphragmatic breathing practice. You can also do this laying on your back. And same thing, one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. And just practice not letting the chest move, not letting the heart hand move, and getting that movement of breath up and down underneath your belly hand. It's good for the pelvic floor. It's good for your anxiety levels. It's just good for overall health and wellness. I have many other videos that are free. I have some that you can subscribe to doing all different kinds of practices for overall well-being, pelvic health, back pain. So just check them out. I'm adding more all the time. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.